That is crazy. Well, welcome everyone to Cannabiziac's monthly Hemp Happy Hour. We are, God, I can't believe it's July already. So we have entered the third quarter of the year, or second half, depending on how you look at it. And so, welcome, welcome, welcome to Hemp Happy Hour. For those who are just joining us for the first time for Cannabiziac, welcome to Cannabiziac and welcome to our family. We are a member-based organization, and our goal is to, and our mission is to provide education, training, networking opportunities, and resources, as well as just providing a connection for those who are in the cannabis industry or who are canna curious and looking to tap into this multi-billion-dollar global industry. And we do that through several events like this one that we have every month, as well as our online courses that are available on demand, our webinars, and our upcoming incubator, which is starting in the fall, which registration is open for now. So with that being said, yes, we're excited. With that being said, I will formally introduce myself, and then we will have introductions by everyone here in our Zoom lounge. For those who are joining us online on Facebook, please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat, and we will definitely recognize you as well. Please feel free to participate in our dialogue. Hemp Happy Hour is all about not just introducing ourselves and networking, but of course we have our drink of the month by our mixologist, Mary Jane. And we also will be talking about just different topics and what's happening with each other and how we can, of course, most importantly, support and collaborate with each other. So that is what this is all about. My name is Anne Marie Sorrell. I'm the president of Cannabiziac, and I'm happy to have you all here. Of course, my goal is to ensure that our members are receiving as many benefits, that they're growing, collaborating, as well as just being an asset and ambassador to this ecosystem that we're building globally. And so a good connection for me is, of course, anyone who wants to join, become a member. But we're looking for consultants, we're looking for instructors, we're looking for coaches, mentors to join our network and join our family as well as other strategic partners and government, university partners, and a corporate partner. So if any of that sounds like you, please hit me up. And then what we're going to do now is I'm going to pitch it to the person I see next on my screen, and then that person has to then pitch it to the next person they see on their screen, so that we can make sure everyone gets a introduction. Tell us who you are, what you do, where you're from. I'm actually hailing from West Palm Beach, Florida. So where you're from, and whatever else you'd like to share. And of course, it's happy hour, so don't be shy. Hopefully you have your cocktail ready to go. If you got some buzz going as well, that's good too. So whatever got you comfortable and in your zone in this happy hour. So Josh is next on my screen. So Josh, it's on you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Josh Butchness. I work with Venture HR, and I'm located in Denver, Colorado. I am here to remove HR and admin out of founders' lives and help them stay focused on revenue-generating tasks. I definitely have some things that I want to talk about today, but I'll save them for the discussion. And the person next to me is Mary, but she's away. So how about Mary Jane? Mary Lou.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of changed my name a little bit for the occasion. It's actually Mary Lou. My name is Mary Lou Northern, and I am the director of special events for Cannabiziac, and I'm also the chief mixologist for Cannabiziacs. I'm actually dibble and dabble in mixology for quite some time now, so I'm very excited for the drink of the month this month. And a good referral for us is like same thing what Anne Marie said, as actually members and people to come and join our incubated program. So we're excited. And the next person I'm going to turn it to will be Jeremy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jeremy. I actually work for a nonprofit called the Green Revolution Foundation that's based out of Amsterdam. I'm the head of research and innovation for the team. So my initiative is using hemp-based products and agricultural processes to really benefit uh, indigenous tribes, impoverished rural communities, and improve their lives through our foundation. So, um, yeah, there's a lot more to it, but we'll keep it simple. Next to me is it Leah? Leah?
Which one? There's two of us.
Oh
Doctor
my
and
gosh.
doctor.
We'll go with doctor.
Actually, I don't know if you're a doctor, so I
It's too
apologize.
late.
If you are a doctor, you could be a doctor too. Sorry.
I'll pass to you, doctor.
Sorry, it's Beth's fault that I'm here. I'm just kidding. Hi guys, I'm Dr. Leah in the industry. I'm in San Francisco, or I'm in the Bay Area. I'm in San Jose, California, but pretty close to San Francisco, California. I am a medical cannabis consultant pharmacist and integrative health pharmacist. So my job is pretty much to work one-on-one with patients, and I pretty much walk them through from entering into the cannabis world into getting better health. So I get them off their most of the pharmaceuticals, depending on what their body says, and get them on cannabis or other plant-based therapies and supplements to make sure that they are better. I also help out with formulations for companies as well. So nice to meet you all. Thank you for having me.
Oh, Dr. Leah, you have to pitch it to the next person.
Yeah, I just realized that. Oh, and also I just want to say, if you're in California, this is Vivin Oak. It is alcohol-free cannabis-infused wine. I am not affiliated with them, but it's freaking awesome. And this is a 20-to-1, so high CBD, low THC. So it helps with my anxiety on Zoom calls. So
I was just there a week ago, but what part of California you're in? I'm sorry, I might have missed that.
I'm in Bay Area, Northern California, but she sells.
I just missed you.
From all of it. Yeah, come if you're back up my way, let me know. I'm going to CanMed, the big thing in Pasadena in October. So if you're there, I will definitely see you. Okay. I'm gonna pass it to what's next on my screen. I'm actually gonna pass it to Leah then, because Leah's next up on my screen.
Yeah, nice. I got really excited there was another Leah, but then we chatted and you're Leia. So I love that too. That's amazing. So definitely not a doctor, but love this group. I've been missing you guys so much. It's been crazy over here, but I've been thinking about you. I've been watching the Facebook, so I'm glad to be here with you. I'm with Higher Ed Hemp Tours. We're based in Austin, Texas, and a great connect for me is anybody trying to get into the hemp industry that wants to see what it's like IRL. We get a lot of people that come in like, we're going to grow 100 acres and then take them around to really understand from the farm all the way to retail what's happening in the industry. And usually that number drops down just a little bit, but it's a lot of fun. We actually hosted a tour, some guests from Thailand 2 weeks ago. It was amazing. So anybody like that, send them my way. Or if you just want to hang out in Austin, then let's do it. It's great to be here with y'all. And let's see, next to me is Josh, but Josh already went. So I'm going to pass it to Beth, is down below me.
Hey everybody, good to see you. I love Hemp Hour. I have to always break out some new hat to compete with Mary Lou. But I'm Beth with the Hemp Huntress of Hoi Polloi Advisors. And we are solopreneur, small business startup advisors for those in hemp, cannabis, and psilocybin. Really our mission parallels Cannabisiac. We've got 2 people sponsored for the incubator program. We want education. When it comes time for execution, hit us up and we'll all work together to help you be successful. My ideal client really is a solopreneur or a small business person that their why is as important or more important than the bottom line. We'll come up with some structure and way to get you there. And like I said, we'll get your dreams made your way is one of the things we like to offer. And this group, if you work with Hoi Polloi, you're going to work with a couple of people in this group as well, because this is where most of our network comes from. Yeah, lots of good stuff to discuss today. And like Josh, I'll save that for later. And Anne Marie, let's not forget, and don't let me forget, I wonder if Jeremy might be able to help out Albert in Oklahoma that we met through here because he was at the.
Yeah,
I
was
I don't know
thinking,
Albert, but sure, I'm happy to help Albert. Like,
absolutely. I was thinking about Jeremy as well as Leah as well to
Yeah.
help out Albert. So
Yeah.
Albert was on our last Hemp Happy Hour. He has like 20 acres in Oklahoma, and it's just really looking, for help, assistance, and, connection with, like-minded people to really help him get his farm going. So,
Yeah, and I think it's Seminole Nation, I think is the land that it's on.
mhm.
Anyway, sorry, I get sidetracked real easy in here. So I am going to pass it on to Sherry.
There we go. Hi, I'm Sherry. I am friend of Beth, and I am in Providence, Rhode Island. Although I was living in Japan previous to this. I work for a company called Trella Technologies that's based on Cape Cod. And essentially what we do is we are engineers for the grow community. And my position is basically looking for good partnerships and collaborations. I do communications, just innovative ideas that we can kind of integrate. And we have something called the Elite R&D program. So I think a good connect for us would be either somebody like Jeremy, who is doing something similar with, as we are in terms of helping Native populations. We're working with nonprofit organizations. Even though our technology was originally designed for cannabis, what we're most interested in now is testing it out with other crops because it is fully automated, CEA vertical farming, and it's pretty amazing. It like reduces harvest time, increases yield. It's environmentally sustainable. It reduces labor because what it does is it gently trains a plant to grow horizontally. So you can keep all the branches intact. You have better light penetration. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're doing. We'd love some R&D partners or anybody who is looking to automate or move indoors with their farming, things like that we can help with. That's it. Oh, I got to pick, right? Did everybody go? No. How about Sada? Is that how you say it? Sauda?
Yes, that is.
All
Hi,
right.
how's everybody? And so I am a new farmer, and I plan to grow hemp once I get everything in order. Right now I have a big muddy mess on my farm in Florida. And we just had our new baby, just born yesterday. My new grandbaby. So that's really exciting in our lives. That's the most exciting thing in our lives today. Thank you.
Congratulations to you and your family. Welcome to your new bundle of joy.
Thank you. I will pass it to, let's see, I'm looking down here. Michelle?
Hello, how you guys doing?
Hi, Michelle. Welcome.
Hi,
Thank
Michelle.
you. Sorry for the delay. Traffic was not kind to me today in good old New York City. Because I was late, are we just doing a roundtable just to introduce? Okay. My name is Michelle Castellan, and I work with a company called Green Sea Advisors, and we do a lot of capital raise. We do M&A transactions. We help with due diligence. We offer a virtual CFO. We do projections and forecasting, expense management. We really try to help people get their finances in order if they're looking to be acquired and or if they're looking to raise capital. That's a little bit about what we do. Nice to see some familiar faces on here. This is my first time joining in Cannabiziac, so thank you.
Thank you. We're happy to see you here, Michelle. Absolutely. Um, oh, okay. Sorry, reading a text message. Did we, Mary? You were absent when Josh pitched it to you, so you got to introduce yourself, Mary.
Oh, he did? I was
Yeah.
chasing the guinea pig around. Oh, well, hi, everybody. I'm Mary. I'm the Director of Operations here at Kennebeziak and also work with membership. Michelle, welcome to the fold. You're one of our newer members that joined in May, along with Josh. I don't see Danielson on here today, but I was hoping to welcome all our newest members. So thank you. And I got your text. So you'll be hearing from me. Okay, so welcome to Cannabis Deck, everybody. Have fun for Hemp Happy Hour. I know Mary Lou, aka Mary Jane, has something mixed up for us, which we can't taste, but I got my own stuff in here.
Mary Jane, are you ready? So before we get into all the stuff that's got y'all buzzing and ready to, chat it up, let's get our mixed drink out the way. So are we ready? Because, every month we just have this amazing surprise from Mary Lou. So we're just like on edge, like, what do you have? What do you have? And by the way, while Mary Lou's getting ready, did anyone try out any of her previous cocktails that she's created for us? Beth is nodding her head over there, like, yeah, the very next day. Well, Mary Jane, it's you have the stage.
Well, welcome everyone to Hip Happy Hour. Listen, I'm so excited, like I always am, about cocktails and mixing and creating something different for our environment today. And I just have to say, it's been a whirlwind of a month already. So I'm sure that everyone will be happy to have a little bit of taste of this cocktail. Well, usually today is National Grand Marnier Day, and then actually next week is National Tequila Day, right? But I've already done a couple of tequilas because I am in love with tequila, right? And I've already done a couple of tequila cocktails the last year or so. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it up just a little bit of a notch and do something very simple, something very calming, a nice cocktail for an evening when you have something with your dessert or something like that. Basically, what I'm going to do is that we're going to do something very simple. We're going to work with Grand Marnier. Now, if some of you guys are not familiar with Grand Marnier, if you are, just put it in the chat. And Grand Marnier is definitely like a French blend of cognac. It's a bitter, orange liqueur. If you have never tasted or added it in your tequila, you can float it, okay? It floats right on your tequila. It's called a Cadillac, right? You want to take it up a notch. You want to get your tequila, your margarita, throw some Grand Marnier in there. Don't even worry about how much you put in there. Well, yes, you should. You should worry about that. But slide you a little bit of Grand Marnier on top of your margarita for National Tequila Day. But we're going to take Grand Marnier to the next level. We're going to add this orange liqueur to a Prosecco. Now, how many of you guys love Prosecco, right? Prosecco basically is, like a sparkling wine, right? And you can pick this up at any of your local Publix or your Total Wines or whatever that's next to you. I thought that it would be nice for us to just throw the Grand Marnier, instead of we always throwing it in tequila all the time, you know what I mean? Let's throw a little Prosecco in there, right? Be a little grand, you know what I mean? A little bougie, you know what I'm saying? A little bit. So we have our glass, right? We have our champagne glass. What I've always told you guys about having the right things that you need, the right tools. So we're gonna have our little champagne glass. And what I added in here, I added a little bit of orange peel. You can add a little lime peel. You can add some cranberries. You can add some little thyme. You can add some different little fruits inside to make yourself, look all pretty and bougie, right? And what we're gonna do is that we're just gonna pour our Prosecco. Now, you don't always have to use Prosecco. Now, I'm always like, you can always improvise and do something different if you don't like Prosecco. You can use a different type of sparkling wine if you like, but I'm going to just pour a little bit in here. We're going to make a little pouring music. Dun, 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 dun. A little pouring music we just did, right? And then, yeah, that's our pouring music. And then we're going to top it off with a little bit of Grand Marnier. Now, I am a licensed bartender, so I pretty much know what I'm doing over here. So you guys be careful about how much Grand Marnier y'all put into this this Prosecco. I would say do about a half an ounce, pretty much. Me, I'm top dog, so I'm gonna do about a whole ounce on here, because I'm by myself, and I don't have to see you guys until after him. So yes, so this is our cocktail for today. We're having Prosecco. We're gonna have a splash of Grand Marnier with a little bit of orange peel or cranberries inside. But also remember this, like every one of us wake up each day with the freedom to be what we want to be, right? So we can be nice, we can be mean, we can be positive, we can be negative, we can be happy, we can be unhappy, but it's up to us, right? So let's wake up, let's get today going, or get tomorrow going, or this evening, and let's be amazing, okay? So this is our drink for today. Enjoy.
All right, cheers. Thank you, Mary Lou. I told you she always has such an awesome presentation and mix that I don't think I would have ever thought to mix Prosecco with Grand Marnier, like ever. But hey, we're gonna try it out.
Try it when there's vodka in there. That one's a real doozy.
Oh yeah, you can add, listen, you're right, Michelle. You can top it on top of top, and you can add whatever you need to add. And I think it's important that, during these time periods for you to explore and see what's out there for you to enjoy. You don't have to be just stuck with just one tequila or one, just a vodka. You can just add it into your Prosecco, and you will be right. Trust me.
Mary Jane, where do I get your mixology book? Because if you don't have one, make one and I'll buy it.
You know what? I spoke with my business coach, and trust me, it's on the way.
Woo! Awesome.
I love it.
Dr. Leah, so I just wanted to, so that you have, okay, so the La Marca, if I'm not confused, I'm pretty certain it's the La Marca, and it's by the McMurray family.
It has the blue label.
The McMurray family of Fred McMurray of My Three Sons. That's how old I am, but yes, Beth, exactly. That's exactly it. My Three Sons. I was like, McMurray, like Fred McMurray, like My Three Sons. And they're like, how do you know this? I'm like, I was born in 72.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle, for that. You know what? Some things definitely tells our age. Like somebody was talking and they were saying, oh, we were in my classroom on the phone using our cell phones.
You want a soda?
Yes.
Want soda?
I didn't have cell phone. We had beepers. So I didn't know anything. That told my age. They was like, oh my gosh, Mary Lou, what? I said, we didn't have cell phones. We used to have beepers, and then I would have to go to the payphone. They said, payphone, what's that? I said, no more conversation. We're done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
What's a payphone?
So I know exactly
all
what
our
you're saying.
payphone's gone.
Oh, I know, right? But I was
you,
watching.
Anne-Marie.
Could you imagine picking up a payphone now, though, and like putting it
with rubber gloves.
Especially
like
with
a
COVID.
wet pipe and rubber gloves, and like you're like I don't know. After everything, like I can't imagine doing that again. Like
Ever.
I'm just
Then again, do you know how dirty your cell phones are? Like I like read about it. I'm like, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't read this, but like think about it. We bring our cell phones everywhere. Those phones are gross. And most of us, I mean, I've cleaned it after that article, and then I don't know if I've cleaned it since. So
yeah.
I think I've become such a germaphobe. I clean mine like every time I go somewhere. It's like I'll come back and wipe down my phone, my watch, my everything. So it is cleaned pretty frequently.
for you,
That's the cleanest any of us have ever been.
Are you telling me that your pocket doesn't sterilize your phone every time you put it in there? Like, I thought that was like a sanitizer wipe. Every time you just put it in, it's like, okay, no, it's good now.
No, that's just in Istanbul, I think.
No, I'm I'm the worst germaphobe. Like I literally spray my purse with Lysol after I come back from the store.
Yeah.
By the way, Jeremy, that could work. Just all you gotta do is put hand sanitizer in your pockets, and then so when you put your phone in your pocket, you will be sanitizing. Your phone might also break, but like that is an
Well, there's
option.
that.
They thought the selfie stick was a silly idea, but I think this is the new multi-million-dollar idea that we have of Snuggies,
so.
selfie sticks,
Oh.
watch out.
Oh,
Exactly.
Jeremy, it's late. Where you at?
Sterilize the pockets.
You're tired.
And purses. You gotta do the sterilized purses and wallets. You gotta just make a whole line right now.
Every card you pull out of the wallet, you sanitize it, right? Put it back in. Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Every shopping bag I used to immediately wash it, right? It's a whole
crazy.
different playing field now.
Oh yeah, we would. I mean, we had our gloves on. We would take the Amazon in the very beginning, take our Amazon package, take the wet wipe down took the Clorox swab, wiped down the packages. Then they took it, then washed our hands afterwards. And then, first opened the box, then took the things out, wiped those down. Then once everything was out, got rid of the box outside, then washed our hands. And I'm like, and then we hit a point where we're just like, honestly, how much just give me the virus if I'm going to have to go through all this. This is not worth it. But luckily, you did not get the virus. So thank heavens, and got vaccinated. So
yeah.
Thank goodness. Well, cool. So I want to kick off some discussions. I know Josh, he already said he had some burning things to talk to us about. So, we're ready.
What's burning, Josh? Do we want to know?
All right, so I had this discussion the other day with somebody, and they didn't really give me any kind of anything to come back with. So I needed to ask some people that I know will give me some feedback on this. Is cannabis a performance enhancing drug? Because it's not performance enhancing by the way you would think about it, right? It's not going to help you run faster, but it could definitely help with recovery, right? And your inflammation and things like that. The whole situation is fucking ridiculous. You can bleep that out. I'm sorry, but yeah. I mean, what do you guys think? Like, there's a lot of organizations that say CBD is fine, and now they're moving into to THC as well. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, how's everybody feel about that? Because that's obviously a problem right now.
I have a question for you on that, just because I don't know sports. Is ibuprofen and Tylenol legal for after a run? If somebody runs and then they're in pain after their run and they take ibuprofen, is that allowed? Because if that's allowed, cannabis should be allowed, and it's not performance enhancement. It's just
performance enhancement, in my opinion, it's all relative. It's about a perspective, because let's just say, I wake up and I'm hungover, and I know that if I just take a little toke or a little CB, you know what I'm saying? Where is it enhancing my performance? Yeah, absolutely. But is it enhancing my performance as on a regular in terms of training and this and that? Is it?
And it can depend on the person, because I immediately thought of, and I had to Google the name because I wasn't sure, but Doc Ellis, who famously pitched a perfect game on LSD. Now, does that make LSD a performance enhancing drug? He'd never pitched before or after a perfect game like that again. But we don't.
What's the definition of enhancing? You know what I mean? Definitely taking to another mental level or another physical level. I mean, it's all subjective. That's
why I think it's a recovery. For me, talking to athletes, actual athletes, they use cannabis and CBD for muscle recovery and health. And then they get to avoid opiates and painkillers. So, and that's, I guess the cynic in me goes, are the Olympics and folks making a big deal because they don't understand the health, or because they understand the financial impact of who's backing them?
I have an answer for that, unfortunately. I just read this a couple of weeks ago, because I watched this movie, The Grass is Greener, about a year ago. And if you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. It's, it's a lot of, I'm assuming a lot of the information that we probably already know, but they did it along with music and it correlated it with music. And after I started going down that path, I read that the reason, because the UN said it wasn't allowed. And so if the UN said it wasn't allowed, they were following all the strict codes for the UN. And, even now that, things are changing, but they're like, there's such a hard stance on it. And I read because it was because of that, which I was like, the UN, like we're basing this all on the UN and the laws and the codes that were drafted. And so I was like, okay.
What, Jeremy, it looks like you're, yeah.
It's so the difficulty is with cannabis, it depends on how you define cannabis in terms of what's the intake, how are you absorbing it? Is it just CBD? Is it just like, are you smoking it? Is it through an edible? Is it through, and the problem comes with the issue with cannabis is there's so many different complex like molecular structures that could be that have shown benefits for cancer and cell regeneration and all sorts of different things. And so it's like the problem with cannabis is there's this negative connotation towards it, and it's not a performance enhancer. I mean, it's a performance enhancer for cancer patients. Like, is it a performance enhancer for like? But that doesn't mean that they're going to make it legal, which is the ridiculous. I'm not going to go into the big pharmaceutical argument because it's just, it'll get me all fired up. But like there's so many different pieces to the puzzle that there's all these big industries don't want anyone to really access, and so they block it. And there's all these things where there are a lot of benefits to it, and is it performance enhancing? I don't know. Like if I drink too much, like, yeah, I think I can fight and I think I can beat up Mike Tyson. Can I?
Right.
Absolutely not. But it's like, is that a performance enhancer? No. But for my ego, yeah, sure. Mike Tyson, let's go. Let's fight. And then
but what if it wasn't
out.
Mike Tyson? What if it was someone else that, that like you had that, not even the extra drink, you just had that one, cocktail, or you had that one toke, or you had that one thing where like, you're like, I don't care if I win or I lose or whatever, I'm just going to do the best. And you're out of your tree and you're like, oh, it was the booze. Oh, it was the,
Well, and that's the mental edge. Like, all being a competitive athlete previously, like, it's a huge thing. There's a difference between fear and exhilaration. Like, you're afraid of an event, but there's the adrenaline that disguises that as excitement. And it's like, before you do something, it's the biggest athletes always turn that fear of whatever that moment is into an ambitious, like, protagonist, basically, for them to move forward. So is cannabis one of those? I don't think there's anybody that's gonna smoke like a bunch of joints before an NFL football game. Like, I don't think Tom Brady is gonna get high before the Super Bowl. He might do it afterwards, but it's like, I think the context comes before and after. Like, is it a performance enhancer if you use it post as a recovery? No, because as we found from Lance Armstrong, blood doping's a performance enhancer, but they were basically taking blood out and then depleting his oxygen supply and then putting it back in right before he raced. So he had this surplus. And it's like, there's all sorts of things. And it's like, man, cannabis, like, there's so much positive potential, and it's just, everyone looks for a negative way to spin it. And it's a terrible, terrible way for the media to run it. But at the same point, I mean, it is what it is.
I sent out a tweet today. I was so pissed. Day two, I watch the Today Show when I'm getting ready, but the Today Show, I was like, oh, we're getting another bit on cannabis today. I was like, all right, cool. What are they talking about today? And I'm just like, stop calling it weed. It's not cute anymore. Like, you're on national TV. Like, we're all trying to change the agenda here. And it's just like, about weed becoming legal. Like, Craig Melvin, I love you. Like, please, like, just call it cannabis. Savannah Guthrie, same, sister. Like, please, like, it's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
Amen to you, but I actually hate the term pot more than I hate the term weed. I was like, I was like,
anything.
one with friends, I agree with you, all of it. Yeah, if you're on national stuff, just call it
pot.
cannabis.
Yeah,
That's
same thing.
fine.
It's like,
Yeah.
Especially
Even in common conversation, I'm like, pot just sounds extra dirty for some reason to me.
any
'Cause you
type
put
of
dirt in pot.
journalist should use proper terms. I mean, and that's what I try and do on podcasts. Like when questions come up, I'll clarify. Well, now the legal definition of hemp and the legal definition of cannabis is this. The botanical definition of cannabis is this. You know, and I try and do that to clarify, you know, the thing that would get us all fired up, because I agree with Jeremy, is there's reasons they use words. There's reasons they make these definitions. They didn't, you know, so clarifying that there's science and botany and then your government, I think
Yeah.
is important. And it's a shame that it's folks like us, because I agree, Michelle, it's a great opportunity for, even though they're morning journalists, to at least say, hey, and you know, as cannabis is becoming more legalized, becoming more popular, here's a topic, and handle it as a journalist rather than, you know, I'm a cool kid that gets to say weed on TV,
yeah.
which is how
Have
it comes across.
Have they had like an expert, like what I mean, we're more of an experts than they are probably,
Yeah.
like all of us in all our different fields.
Surprised
But
no
like,
one replied.
has anybody actually just gone on and said, well, in cannabis, which is what we, you know, like to refer to it, since we want to, you know, get rid of the negative connotation like names that are negatively connotated to cannabis, and like I
Tweet
feel
at
like
them.
it
Go
takes
on.
one.
You do it. You should do it.
Do it.
You should tweet them and be like, listen, you know, like
I
happy to
don't.
talk to you. Yesterday they were talking about how it was like Mississippi, the University of Mississippi, I think it was there, that it was the only place that it was federally legal to grow. And they were doing all the stuff, and then, you know, that kind of like went moot, but that was like really the only place. And then today they had someone, this doctor, I left really early, but like, and I didn't see the whole thing, but he was talking about, he was taking them right through, you know, one of the indoor grows and all of that. I was like really surprised that they were doing this on morning TV, but you know, it's awesome. But you should do it, Leah. You totally should tweet at them and be like, listen, I'd love to talk more, you know, and then when you tweet, I'll reply and then retweet it to my network.
I'd have to sign up for Tweet, because I'm one of those weird old school non-Twitter people. I know I'm awful.
Okay, no, it's not awful. It's a really good, yeah, okay.
Just tell me where to yell at them on LinkedIn and I'll do it on LinkedIn.
It's the Today Show. I'll see what recon I can find.
Hey, I'll call them. I'll do it old school. I'll call them and complain, because you know they haven't gotten a complaint call, I'm sure, in a while, except from the old biddies.
Make some Assistance Day, and be like, this is Dr. Leah, and I want to talk to Savannah now about cannabis. Tell her to call me.
Dude, can I just like write a script and give it to you? Because I would love. Oh God, I'm passionate, but your passion is leaps and bounds compared to mine.
You know, it's just annoying.
So what else has got you all buzzing? Oh, Jeremy, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I saw you unmute.
No, you're good. Keep going.
Okay.
It's okay.
So what's another topic or within your businesses that has got you buzzing?
I can say it, but people will get mad at me.
People get
Do it.
My
Do
God,
it.
at you.
Delta 8. Delta 8.
Let's talk about it, because you know there's
very
definitely a lot of
anti-Delta 8.
conversation, confusion, questions, all types of stuff happening with Delta 8. So let's get into it.
So I do a lot of like I said, I work with patients, but I'm on a lot of podcasts and panels, and one of the biggest things I'm asked recently is about Delta 8, because they're, especially for Texas, because there's so many states that can't have THC. So it's like, well, this is kind of their go-to. And I am very anti anything. Now, mind you, I'm a pharmacist and I was a chemist before I was a pharmacist. So I know chemicals. I don't like I like plant therapy because it's natural. Even in the extraction method, when done properly, it's natural. Now, you can extract Delta 8, but it comes in such insignificant amounts in the plant. It's so hard to get a full extract. So usually you have to convert it using chemicals. So a lot of arguments I have too is, well, I have Delta 8 flower, so it's natural. It's like, well, actually that's CBD flower where Delta 8 has been sprayed on it. And that's the kind of thing that I'm kind of like, you know, and also the other thing is we have lots of studies. I don't care what people keep saying we don't have studies. We have studies. They're not US studies, but who cares? US is not the best. There's plenty of great countries. So other countries have wonderful cannabis THC studies, wonderful CBD studies. There are really minimal studies on Delta 8 currently. And with the lack of knowledge, how we know that small amounts inhaled in a plant and like the insignificant amounts it comes in, safe. We're from what we know, it's safe because we have not been infected by it over thousands of years of use or tens of thousands of years of use. But now when you're using something that the body doesn't, or in nature and in the body doesn't naturally see, we don't know what that might be fine, might be dangerous. And also, do we know that these companies making Delta 8, that some of them I'm sure are smart enough to know how to do the proper extraction and not hurt anybody. But the people who are using sulfuric acid, which is what a lot of people tend to do, they use sulfuric acid gets it converted to CBD flower with sulfuric acid to THC then to Delta 8. And now you've got Delta 8, but do they know how to wash out that sulfuric acid well? Like I said, I was a chemist. I went to school for 4 years for chemistry. I don't know how to wash out sulfuric acid. So I don't know. Do we know that these product manufacturers know how to do it properly for it to be safe for our patients and for our consumers? So that's my big pet peeve about Delta 8 is there's too many questions, and already people are finding a lot of people getting hurt by having the high dose edibles, which is another whole issue of mine. They scare me. I saw a 100 milligram THC edible. One dose was 100.
One dose?
One dose.
Was it 100 milligrams?
Terrifying. It scared the bejesus out of me. And I'm like, dude, we are going to start hurting people. The whole point of this medicine is it's safer. And now we're literally making an effort to make it unsafe now.
I'm gone on 5 milligrams.
Right. I'm just like, I'm like, how can you function on 100 milligrams? I don't even understand.
I'll be asleep for 10 days.
Exactly. So those are my two things: the high dose black market edibles and Delta 8. Those are my two pet peeves right now.
Wow.
Can I ask you a question? Because you might have an answer to this. I've tried to do a lot of research on this. Edibles don't affect me. Neither do tinctures. I can take what you're talking about and it won't touch me at all. And I have done research to find out why, because as much as I love flower, I also like my throat to not hurt, you know? It seems that it has something to do with a liver enzyme. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this. Have you heard of it? Would you? I mean, I'm honestly asking.
It all depends on people, but like I was going to say, the first thing I would say for edibles, if edible doesn't work, something's up with your liver. It's either your it's something with your metabolism's off, because when you swallow it, and that's why like a lot of the tinctures that actually go through, like the alcohol tinctures actually might work for you, because then they go directly into the blood vessels under the tongue, but most of the oils don't get absorbed under the tongue. So like they say it doesn't, and because they're too thick to get absorbed in the tongue. Some are not. And so when you swallow it, it's no different than the first pass effect, but you're going through the liver first pass effect, which means that the liver breaks it down first and it changes it to, God, I wish Cody Peterson was on this call, because I'm the patient person, he's the science person, and it is some sort of the chemical. It's something. It's like carboxylated something, right. And it's the more drowsy effect of cannabis is the edible usually. But if your liver is not processing it, so it could be, there's so many different things. So it could be your CYP enzymes refuse to break it down. It could be a dysfunction in the liver processing. It could be many different things. Have you had your liver function tested to make sure your liver functions good?
Yeah, I'm okay. And it's just such a drag that, you know, one day I literally sat there eating 20 milligrams after 20 milligrams and nothing happened.
I would also be careful with pharmaceuticals. Before you start, if you're put on any pharmaceuticals, check which ones need to get processed through the liver first. You might have a delayed reaction with those, or no reaction with those as well.
Tina, this is why I ask, is because not so much for myself, but when I talk to other people seem like they're very hesitant to admit for some reason that edibles are not as effective on them as they would like them to be. And I don't know why. And when I say that, they go, yeah, me too. And I don't know why, if there's some kind of thought process around, well, yeah, I got to be hip to the edibles. But the other thing is, if you have an issue, it's important to be able to trust a medical professional, to be able to ask them. Because going back to what we were talking about in terms of performance enhancement, right? Any medication is meant to enhance your performance.
That's enhance your life. Yeah.
What the hell else are you taking a medication for? To feel worse? You know, like it's
some of them, sadly.
Yeah, I know. Well, maybe the next day.
Not on purpose, yeah.
You know, the science of what is going on is just as important with cannabis medicine or any plant medicine as it is with anything that is man-made.
Absolutely.
And for me, it's that education piece. You know, I think somebody mentioned education earlier on when we were doing the roundtable, and for years that was what I did, was education. I did environmental education. I've done horticultural education, and currently, you know, in my current job, because I'm the communications person, I do things like develop all of the educational content, the blogs, the pillar pages, you know, because that's something that's important to me. I want people to understand, so that they have the information and they can have these informed questions, rather than, oh, look at, there's a bunch of potheads who think that they have jobs. You know, like, it's just completely not true.
So Sherry, have you tried a beverage? And I know that different states you have, and same thing? Interesting, because even beverages are slightly better for people who have that issue, but pretty much you need to bypass the full liver response to be able to get the response if the liver is fighting it, pretty much.
You
kind of what it is. It's like
since you spoke of liver, and I'm a mixologist, you know. You know, I can concur with Sherry when she talks about how it affects you differently. I've never had that experience when it comes to edibles. I had a half edible and I was high for like 7 hours. So I don't think that never, my liver enzymes are okay. I'm good to go. But I think that what kind of generally happens is that I think everybody's body is totally different and experience it totally different in a different way. Because even when I'm rolling up and then if I smoke it, I'm different. I still, again, experience it differently from other people. And I think that that's something that needs to be considered. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to agree with Sherry to say, hey, you know what? You know, I experienced something different when it came down to the edibles, which was, you know, I was high for 7 hours. But outside of that, even when I rolled up, it was still a different experience for me. You know, and I've had my liver checked out and I'm okay. You know, I've had a lot of, you know, testings to do with liquor. So at the end of the day, you know, that's what I'm saying, that I'm with Sherry, that it definitely changes and makes you feel differently. Each person is different when it comes down to cannabis. So, but I wanted to interject to say, when we were talking about the enhancement of cannabis, I feel like people are not really respecting the fact that emotionally this young lady was struggling with things because her mom had passed away. And and people around her, you know, let's just let you know, when you're going up and further up in life, and you're experiencing business, or even when you're trying to go to Olympics, that you have to have people around you that's going to advise you correctly. And I think that, I'm not sure if she had people around her to actually advise her correctly, or the fact that she sabotaged it because she was, you know, feeling like, hey, you know, I lost my mom, a lot of things are down, and emotionally she was down. So I just think that I just wanted to interject on that little point.
Well, I think you gotta.
So because obviously I'm not an Olympian or ever was, or a contender. That being said, like, if she needed a sedative, right? Because like when your mom dies, your friggin' life sucks, and it doesn't. And at that point, she could be like, "Look, I have to give myself self-care. You know, I got to do this. This is what's going to make me feel good." If she didn't do that and took like a fucking Xanax, would she have gotten in trouble for that?
Right.
No, I literally don't know the answer. If the answer is yes, she would have gotten in trouble, then like, you know, her and everybody else are kind of screwed either way.
No, I don't think she would have gotten in trouble. And I think based on what one of my friends who watches sports very closely said, two things: that one, she could have, I guess there's a form or something that they could, because if she has a card and where she is, it's legal, that she could have cited it in whatever form preliminary, that she had taken that or whatever, and she wouldn't have been penalized. And secondly, this particular friend of mine said that cannabis is on the list because it's also considered a masking agent where it can mask other drugs. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what she said. But I think too, from a general perspective, not beyond the fact that she broke a rule, I agree with Mary Lou that from a mental health standpoint, I think there's a lot of people who don't view, the general public, that don't view cannabis as a aid in mental and emotional health. And I think that's where the other piece of education has to come in. Like I have a friend who's a psychologist, and I was just talking to her because she loves tea. And I was like, well, what if you created your own infused tea or whatever? But that would also probably help treat your patients instead of giving them, you know, Zoloft or whatever the, you know, antidepressant medicine is that you give, or anxiety medicine that you may prescribe. What if you were able to give them, you know, a medical cannabis plant medicine prescription, or a tea or something that would help them with this, you know, in the same way, but in a healthier way for them long term. So, and she was like, oh, I never really thought about that. So there's just so much education that has to happen around even just mental and emotional health, and how plant medicine, particularly the flower that we love, can be used to deal with that.
Amen.
Yeah, it's the whole stigma that just
Got
has to be
those.
malt balls. What are those?
One of my friends brought this to me, and it is difficult to only eat one. This flavor is like pink, and they're super cute. They taste.
Wait,
I mean, it's like nothing
Michelle,
I've ever tasted. We don't get shit in New York, but
the
then
flavor is pink?
she got me
Wait,
this.
Jeremy.
Oh, look at
That one's good. I've had that
confused.
before.
I like
I've
the
never
beer,
had a cannabis cocktail before. Yeah, no, the malt ball it's pink, and the flavor is punch, and it's like a delight.
Jeremy's like,
Michelle, that's a good
I was
can.
like-
I've had that
Jeremy was excited.
That's marketing right there. It's pink.
Jeremy, where do you
what
live?
flavors is pink? So I'm originally from Cincinnati, but I'm in Istanbul at the moment.
Okay, well, that's a little far, but you know, maybe
far
next
away.
time.
I feel so bad for Sherry right now. I can just see her eyes like, I want it, but it doesn't work.
I know, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I feel so left out. And you know, the other thing is that I've never been a drinker. Like alcohol makes my stomach hurt. It's the way it goes, and it makes my sinuses go, and I can't breathe. It's just some weird allergy. So once in a while I can have a glass of wine, but I've never been a drinker. So
Well, I don't know what it tastes like, and I absolutely will report back.
yeah.
But if you know, it's yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any alcohol in here. It's just the cannabis. So it's like
Delightful. It
this
does.
is blood orange cardamom.
It's really good.
And
It's
you know,
that sounds exotic,
right?
Blood
Yeah.
orange cardamom. Sounds like
I want to take it on an empty stomach and not having any other drinks or any other, you know, stuff that I've smoked. So I can give this like a real chance to let me know. Because also, like when you were saying before, Sherry, where, you know, when you eat it, you know, you don't really get that, you know, that feeling. Try this. Wait, where are you located?
Rhode Island.
Oh, you're a roadie. All right, awesome. I grew up in Connecticut.
Where are you? Connecticut?
I grew up in Connecticut, but I'm in New York City.
Oh, well, you're only like 2.5 hours away anyway.
If you were to ever see like someone doing like the dinner, like a chef dinner with like cannabis infused food, I feel like if everything is small enough milligrams or like the right milligram after, like, I hear nothing but from my friends who've done this, that they're like, dude, by dessert, I was like off my rocker. And I was like, what? And I was like, were you smoking? Were you doing anything else? And they're like, nope. Like after a while, you just kind of forget that there's, you know, it's in the food. And, you know, I'm anxious to try that, but I also need to make sure that I don't have to be at work the next day in case anything goes down, you know?
You know, I actually have a question, well, not a question or a comment. Maybe people can chime in about this part. Your friends, right? I have friends that deal with anxiety and depression and just different things like that. And because I'm with the cannabis company, I sometimes am hesitant of saying, hey, you should try this or you should try that from cannabis, because I sometimes don't want to come off just really like because I love my company or I love the company that I work with. And I don't want to come off a weird way to say, oh, cannabis is the only way to deal with anxiety or whatever. So I have a friend of mine that's dealing with a bunch of health issues, and then I'm just like, I just kind of sit back and I just didn't, you know, kind of say anything. And then all of a sudden she told me, she was like, hey, I got somebody who introduced me to CBD. And I was like, yo, I wanted to introduce this to her, but I just didn't want to come across saying, hey, you know, cannabis is the only way, because it's a big stigma with it. So, you know, when you have friends who come to you and dealing with can't sleep, they have anxiety, they're, you know, they're nervous. How do you guys introduce that to your friends? Do you tell your friends, you know, hey, you should try this and try that? Have you gotten good results from it?
I'm a little different because that is my job. People come to me like I'm broken.
Okay.
But I would say be really, I actually applaud your hesitancy, not for the cannabis plant, but people are on so many meds and people keep forgetting that cannabis interacts with a lot of meds. It really does. And not that cannabis is bad and not that meds are bad, but you got to just be careful, know what you're doing. So I've been reading some chat boards where I think I was telling this to Michelle and to Beth, where they're like, this guy who was on Xanax, like about 5 Xanax a day, which is, for those that don't know, it's a lot of Xanax, was on a higher dose of Xanax a day, you know, was saying, oh, I tried this new CBD product. I just use it like this. I'm cured now. I don't have to take any of it. And then this one girl who was like, oh, I have kind of, you know, I have anxiety. I have lorazepam, which is Ativan, which I take, you know, every once in a while. He's like, oh, use this dose. It'll be perfect for you. And I'm like, no. So I would definitely say, introduce that. Have you thought about using cannabis therapy? I mean, the broad question, go for it. You know your stuff, you know that like cannabis is effective, definitely introduce it. But I always have hesitance, even with companies saying this dose of this. And it's like, whoa. Do you know everything about this patient before you make recommendations? Like now knowing Sherry, if Sherry became one of my patients, she would be a completely different way I would treat her, the way that I would treat other patients. And just by knowing the person. So just like how medical professionals, in my opinion, do not give their patients enough time to sit down with them, talk to them, and actually figure out what's going on before they just start throwing medications at them. I do the opposite. I do what I think physicians should be doing, which is sitting down with the patients, learning about them, learning about what they're already on and how to make it work the best for them. So I think go for it. Thumbs up. Yeah, absolutely. Encourage cannabis use. But I always also encourage, if you need somebody's help, seek out somebody who can help, like a medical doctor or a medical pharmacist that can help you with cannabis.
I want to do a shameless plug because next Wednesday, you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Next Wednesday, we have Meryl Gilbert with Trace Trust. She is doing our Cannabisiac University webinar, and she's talking about safe and reliable cannabis and hemp products. So I think that goes right in line with our discussion. So please, anyone that you know that may be interested in the webinar, of course, we hope to see all of you there with us next Wednesday. It's 12 Eastern time. So depending on where you are, maybe it's a different time, of course, but definitely tune in and join the conversation to be with us next Wednesday with her, and then share it. It's on our social media page. If anyone wants to go register, of course, register at our website. for the event as well. If you're a member, of course, all events are complimentary for our members. But if you're a non-member, it's only $10 to register. So definitely do that and share that information, because we're talking about some things that people just really don't know about, whether it's dosing, the effects of Delta 8, and how controversial that is. But you raised some really good points, Dr. Johnson, about just how it actually even comes together. Like, I didn't even know that. So thank you for that bit of information, education. Anything, I want to be mindful of your time. We do want to showcase our member of the month. She was looking to join us, but she is dealing with a family matter, but we still want to showcase our member of the month, Miss Roxanne Harris. And Mary, you want to tell us a little bit about Roxanne? You're on mute, or am I on?
Go.
Oh, there we go. We can hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that. So yes, Roxanne is our July member of the month. She has worked in the regulatory environment since 1995. She also has consulting and policy development experience. She's also an advocate for social justice reform and a political junkie that is here to make a difference. Yeah, she was supposed to join us today to talk a little bit more about herself and what she does. But due to some other unforeseen instances that she had to take care of, she couldn't join us. But she's always here, and she's happy to be a part of Kennebisiac. You can also give Roxanne a shout out on our community platform, or online community platform on My Day Network, as I've posted her flyer up there and everything for the member of the month.
Awesome. Thank you, Mary. Couple of cool announcements, and I think Josh is going to be one of our first persons, either Josh or Beth, I can't remember what order, but one of the things that we'll be adding, if you really like this discussion today, and if you join us for our Cannabis Cafe, which is also once a month, the first Monday, although we go over many hot topics, which we'll continue doing, we thought that it'd be great for our members, because you're all experts in your own right. And so we thought that it'd be great for our members to be able to offer, a 10-minute chat where you're able to really highlight, 5 things you should know, or 3 things you should know, whatever, about whatever your expertise are in the industry. And so that's one of the new features that we'll be doing, I believe, starting in August. So Josh, I think you said September, Beth said August, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So for those of you who are interested in also being a presenter, and we'll be doing this for both Hemp Happy Hour as well as Cannabis Cafe. So for those who like to get up a little earlier for Cannabis Cafe, Jeremy's like, no way. I like my late night happy hour.
Hey, Anne-Marie, you said Josh is September and Beth is August?
Yes, for Hemp Happy Hour, both for Hemp Happy Hour.
Okay.
So if you have a particular subject matter that you want to share your expertise with our members on, it's a great way just to kind of, continue to connect, continue to learn about you, what you do, and how you're helping business and how we can help each other. So we want to offer that option to you as a member as well. So we're looking forward to Beth and Josh's presentation. If anyone else is interested in October, November, December, or whatever other month is coming up, please feel free to book that with Mary Lou, or AKA Mary Jane. But what we'll do is we'll also, for our flyer, we're going to add your picture. We're going to promote your bio as well. And, just really promote that you're going to be doing this little talk at the event as well. So just another way to really get you out there as a member and showcase you to everyone in our audiences. So I just wanted to make that announcement. The other announcement that we have is our member ambassador program. So we're going to be fleshing this out a little bit more, but to kick it off, because persons like Beth and Josh and Austin's not here, they have been such great ambassadors with introducing people to Cannabiziac. And so we want to create an ambassador program that rewards our members for bringing new members in, but also promoting our incubator. So our promotion that we have coming up for the member or ambassador who brings in the most incubator participants will receive a complimentary admission to MJ BizCon. So if you haven't registered, no worries. And so we'll do one of those for in person. And then the second and third place winners will receive the virtual access to MJ BizCon. So that's our competition. The incubator program is open for registration. We're doing a BOGO. So let me tell you about the BOGO, which is really, really special because this is probably the only time we're going to do this as an introductory to our incubator program. So for those who don't know, our incubator program has 2 levels. So for the startup company, those who need to understand and know the fundamentals of entrepreneurship, how to start, run, manage, grow a company, that is level 1. Level 2 is a deep dive into the cannabis industry. So all things cannabis, from history to decriminalization to the science of our plant, to the various opportunities, both on ancillary, plant touching, and so much more. What's happening in the global markets, what's happening in the US markets, et cetera. It's a super, super deep dive. I think that we have 13 modules for that program. That's level 2. So those are the first 2 levels that we're rolling out. Level 3 will be rolled out in 2022. We'll talk more about that. So with our BOGO, you can buy one, get one for a friend, meaning that you and a friend can go through this program together for the price of one. Or we made it even sweeter. We did another BOGO where you can buy one program and get the second program for the price of one. So that way you can either do both simultaneously because they're on different days. So program 1 will be Tuesday evenings for those who want to do the weekday, or the first Saturday for those who want to do a weekend. And then level 2 will be on Thursday evenings, or the second Saturday, which would be a more comprehensive day. So so you can literally do both at the same time if you have the time, and you can choose which days work better for you and your schedule. So we're offering that. We have, I don't know how many we currently have open, but the total is 25 slots per class. And we have 4 classes total. So 2 per program level. So I hope that kind of broke it down for you. The competition starts today and it ends July 31st. So whoever you're
I gotta call some people.
Okay. Whoever you're referring, you just have to let us know the names and let us, you keep a tally, we keep a tally, and then, we get them in there and, you're on your way to MJ BizCon, either virtually or in person. So you decide if you want to be there virtually and come in first place. So that's what we have going on, but we're going to be building out our ambassador program a little bit more. So we're definitely open to feedback. Please, if you have some ideas around how we can incentivize our members and our ambassadors, we're really open to suggestions. Of course, we're always open to how we can make your Cannabiziac experience even better. We're finalizing our green print for our members, which will be having our first member orientation coming up. So I'm really excited about that. I know some of y'all like, I've been a member forever. Y'all just have no orientation. but it's okay. Good things come to those who wait. Okay. So we're super excited about the green print, which is going to be, you know, basically our member roadmap to success. So in cannabis and in the industry. So we have all of that will be rolling out in the coming weeks. Those are the announcements I have. Of course, you know, we have our Cannabis University next Wednesday, and then the following Wednesday we have our book of the month with our author. Who's our author, Mary Lou? I'm sorry.
Oh, our author is Jasmine Moore, Green Panther chef. She's a chef. She's going to talk about how we can cook and enjoy ourselves with cannabis. So also, I also need to say that, Leah, I hope you will be giving us some information so you can actually do a presentation, a little bit of how to do on our hemp happy hours as well. So I need your information in the chat, Leah.
Which one? You got two.
It's in there.
Leah or Leah?
I'm putting, I'm sorry, Leah last. Our first Leah, she's really like our first member. So
she's the actual Leah. I'm Leah, so you got it.
Not Dr. Leah, sorry.
Dr. Leah and Leah, I love it. I'm glad we have the distinction.
Yeah, Dr. Leah, I'm also going to be giving you email, so see if you can book hopefully September, October, and get you in there as well. We would love to have you. We so enjoyed you tonight. And Leah, our first Leah, I definitely want to book you as well. So please put your information back in the chat so I can do that for you.
Yes.
Definitely will. Love you guys.
No, we love you too.
We miss you.
Absolutely. We're so happy to see you. Oh my God. And Jeremy, I hope, how have your experience been tonight?
It's been great. I really enjoyed it. So I'll be back.
Awesome. Michelle, I know this is your first.
Yep, thumbs up for me.
Good. Sherry and everyone. Sada, I know we couldn't see you on camera. Again, congratulations, Sada. Listen, I know we love to chat all night and we probably could, but I want to be mindful of everyone's time. This has been another great Hemp Happy Hour. We look forward to seeing you all next Wednesday for Meryl's presentation with Trace Trust. And of course, looking forward to the competition. May the best man or woman win.
Thank you.
Or good day, evening, morning, all that good stuff.
Yeah, sleep well, everyone. Jeremy, especially. It was nice to meet you.
It's just 2:20 in the morning. It's fine.
I was just going to ask you what time it was. I was just going to ask you.
It's 2:20 a.m. It's okay. It's perfect time for me.
7 hours ahead.
If I reach out to you tomorrow on LinkedIn, please don't judge me. It's just
no, please do. Oh, and save the chat if you haven't
I have my priorities.
If you haven't put your information in chat, please feel free to do so. We're going to make sure we save the chat as well. So please save the chat on your end so that way you have everyone's contact information and you can connect, because this is all about connecting, networking, and collaborating. So let's make sure we do that.
Jeremy, does anyone tell you you look like Johnny Damon?
No.
He was on the Boston Red Sox.
I get Creepy Todd from Breaking Bad.
I don't know Creepy Todd.
I get Fat Matt Damon a lot. I'm trying to think of what else.
Did you say Fat Matt Damon? Oh
yeah, there's
not your friend. They're not your friend. They're not your friend, sir.
They're my best friends because they tell me the truth. Is that how that works?
Fat? What?
Is that how that works?
No.
They put the picture of like Matt Damon. I forget what movie he got really fat for, but they're like, yeah, you look totally like him. Like, just shave your beard with your fat face. You look just like Fat Matt Damon. I was like, cool.
Well, I was complimenting you with the Johnny Damon because I hope you know who he is.
I do, and I appreciate that. It was I needed that boost. So it's really nice. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going with the young Kurt Russell. That's what I'm going with.
Oh, that's not wrong.
Oh.
Jeremy, you're surrounded by all these ladies right now. Is it intimidating?
No.
He just wants
I,
to
I,
go.
I just told Mary Lou I used to I bartended for like 12 years. So it's like it's nice to actually feel, appreciated
Yeah.
again. It's
Listen,
been
that
I've been
sounds
teaching
like
for like 4 years, so it's just kids shitting on me for 4 years. So it's nice to finally have like some positive feedback from somebody of not like, I hate you. And it's like,
Listen,
I wish you
sounding-
could do math. Like I don't know what to say.
So sorry you go through that. Well,
listen, I'm just kind of like you were a bartender. I'm like, wow, we need to have a guest Jeremy, right?
sure.
A guest Jeremy coming
I
up
think
soon.
that would be kind of cool.
Jeremy.
Jeremy, we
Well-
could have you be a
I'm feeling it.
mixologist.
When I'm so go home next week, and then I'll have all the bourbons and all the access of all the materials that I need. Right now it's I have Efes, which is the Turkish beer.
Yeah.
It's pretty limited here. They've got like a Sambuca, which is
Yeah.
literally like poison. Like
Yeah, it is.
you can clean your windows with it, you can get rid of food poisoning with it, like you can clean your toilet with it,
I had
or
this
you
one
can drink
guy-
it.
Gardia.
I had this one guy
Yeah.
come in and is like, oh, I need Sambuca shot right now. I was like, oh my God, this guy's gonna die in front of me.
Oh, harsh. Very harsh.
They love it. They're like, no, you drink it too fast. You have to. I was like, no, man, I only want to taste it one time. Like, I don't want to taste it 5 times. That's the whole point. Like,
Oh
you drink,
my God.
you don't just. It's like, yeah, I do, because I don't like it. Like,
Exactly.
stop buying this. It's
It's not. I don't appreciate the taste. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
the
begrudge
worst.
people who do. So that's how the nice way to be like, that's disgusting is like, I just don't appreciate it like you do.
That's the worst. It's not.
Splash some club soda in it. It makes it less syrupy.
It's the
Really?
worst.
Busy
I
though.
don't see how people do it when they order it. I just look at them like I don't know what to say.
It's just
I do
cough
judge.
syrup.
I judge them.
It's licorice
and-
cough syrup.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy, I'm happy you were here to help balance it out, because normally Josh is, especially since Austin's been a little absent lately, Josh has been surrounded by all us ladies. So I'm sure he likes, having a little male company to kind of balance it out a little bit.
I don't know. He got a nice education.
Josh,
last
I'm here
week.
for you, man. It's me and you against the world.
You know, brother, I'm just at.
It's
I'm
the
here in
J&J
life.
show. I love it.
Just the two of
I
us, you
accept
and I.
what's here. If I'm surrounded by women, I don't feel bad for myself. It's a pretty good life.
Well
But I'm thankful to meet you. I'm thankful to
You've been
meet
having
you.
sticky conversations, Josh. We talk kind of bad for you.
Now I know that I have to bring a hat to the next party. So there's
Listen,
Oh, it's on.
Hemp happy hour. We're gonna do it.
Excellent.
Hat hour, Hemp happy hour.
Yeah, I like it.
Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna go. It was
Me too.
talk to
Bye,
all of you.
guys. See you next
Thank
week.
you.
Bye.
Bethy, I'm texting you. I want to give you good dirt.
Okay.